Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a super duper exciting video for you guys, and that is going to be talking about my new piercing. If you guys are noticing this in my mouth right now, you're probably like, what the fuck is in your mouth? I got my Smiley pierce, as you can see right here, and this video I'm just going to be talking a little bit about my experience with getting the piercing, how it's been taking care of it, just things like that. So I'm sure many of you are super excited about this video because I have been talking about getting my Smiley pierced for quite a long time. So let's go ahead and break it down for you. I got my Smiley pierced on June 20th, so it is July 5th that I am filming this video, so it's been a couple of weeks since I have gotten the piercing, and I know it's been a while since I've gotten the piercing, and I know I'm just now telling you about it, but that's because I had a lot of pre-recorded videos before I got the piercing, and I really wanted to get those up and out of the way before people started asking me, oh, I thought you got your Smiley pierced, you know, where's your new piercing, things like that. So that's the reason for the delay in telling you about my new piercing, is I just really wanted to get my pre-recorded videos up and out of the way first. So now that I have done that, it is officially time to tell you guys about it. So yeah, basically if you don't know what a Smiley is, it is this piercing that you are seeing right here. This one up here is called the Smiley, and then the one down below is the Frowny, and then the one underneath your tongue is the tongue web. So they're all pretty similar piercings, they just have different locations and different names in the world of piercing, people who get piercing. So yeah, basically I'll go ahead and show you where it was pierced. So up in that little webby thing area that you're seeing, that is where the needle went through, and that is where I was pierced to get this piercing. And basically every time you smile, you're supposed to be able to see it like so. So that is why it is called the Smiley. So yeah, like I said, I got it done on June 20th. I did not film myself getting the piercing done, unfortunately. I was really going to for you guys, but number one, I forgot my camera again, and number two, in order to get the piercing, I spent a lot the entire time getting the piercing. I spent with my lips up like that, so it would have been impossible for me to hold my lips up and hold a camera. Granted, I did have my boyfriend and my friend with me at the time, but like I said, I didn't have my camera, and my phone isn't the best sound quality, so it just wouldn't have worked out. So I'm sorry I did not record it for you guys. Next time I do get a piercing, I promise on all that is holy, I will record it for you guys. This one I just didn't. That same day, my boyfriend also got his first piercing. He got his nose pierced. He has never gotten a piercing before. He's never even had his ears pierced before, so this was kind of a big deal for him. So yeah, we both just decided to get new piercings this day, and I really wanted to get my Smiley pierced. As you guys know, for a while I've been wanting this piercing, and it took quite a while to get my piercer talked into it, because she is not a fan of doing that piercing for several reasons. One, it is just a very awkward place to pierce someone. I mean, it's definitely not the most enjoyable thing to like have someone hold their lip up like this and try to get the balls screwed on. Things like that. It's just kind of like a septum piercing too. You just can't really see fully what you're doing. It's not like a belly piercing or a nose piercing. And the second reason is that it does cause a lot of havoc on your dental health, which I will get into in a minute. So yeah, but eventually I did talk her into it, and she was open to doing it. And she gave me two options. I was able to have either a CBR or a horseshoe, and I decided to go with the horseshoe just because I like the look of the two little balls when I smile. So yeah, that's what I decided to go with. I'm pretty sure this is a 16 gauge, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, basically when I went and got the piercing, I'm just going to explain a little bit how it felt, how my experiences was getting it pierced. So basically when she had me hold my lip up and put the clamp on, I almost backed out of the piercing. And the reason for that is because when she put the clamp on, the clamp was so incredibly painful. I don't know if any of you out there who have your Smiley pierced, if the clamp hurt you just as much, but honestly, when she put that clamp on, I literally stopped and asked her, I said, does the piercing feel like the clamp? Because if it does, I don't want the piercing. and she's like, oh no, the piercing is super easy, the clamp is honestly the worst part, which in most situations the clamp is usually always the worst part. Like when I got my nipple pierced, the thing I remember the most is the clamp rather than the actual piercing. So yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. And then she put the clamp back on. Unfortunately, it hurt so bad. I hate the clamp. But then she put it on and she basically said, okay, I'm going to tell you to take a deep breath in, and when you exhale, that's when I will pierce you. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, I've been through this before. I'm fucking ready. Let's do this. I was super pumped, super hyped. But then again, nervous, because every single time I get a new piercing, I get super nervous and super worked up. I don't know what it is because I've had so many, but I don't know. Every time I go and get a new piercing, I just freak out. So, you know, I take a deep breath in and exhale, and she pierces me. Honest to God, you guys, I did not feel the piercing at all. I mean, obviously I felt a little bit of something, but there was honestly no pain, no discomfort, no tenderness, nothing. Honestly, the worst part was the clamp for sure. Then after she pierced me, obviously I had to hold my lip up for quite some time because there was a huge needle right here. You don't want to close your mouth when that needle's there for obvious reasons, so I basically just held my lip up so she could grab the jewelry. Once she put the jewelry in, still couldn't really feel anything. This is externally threaded, I'm pretty sure as well, so even with externally threaded jewelry, I still didn't really feel much. And then came time to screw the other ball on, which was a whole other challenge. We eventually had to lay me down and hold my lip up, and she had to screw it on. So it's just a very like small area to work with, and when you're someone who doesn't have like baby hands and you're like a full-grown adult, unlike me who looks like a 12-year-old, it's very hard to get the ball screwed on in such a small area. So yeah, that was basically the entire experience. I didn't really bleed that I can remember, and again, right after I got the piercing, there was no discomfort, there was no pain. It was a little bit tender, but it wasn't anything serious. You know, I was able to eat, drink, all that stuff. It was no big deal. And then she showed me, and ta-da! A smiley piercing was born. Now I'm just going to be kind of talking about my experience since I've gotten the piercing, like things I like about it, things I don't like about it, my future plans with it, things like that. So the one thing I do notice for sure about the piercing itself is that how often it moves. Like I said, I do have a horseshoe, and I do notice throughout the day, just like when I'm talking or whatever, I do notice sometimes it'll do that, or I'll have it completely turned and it'll do this, or I'll have it so when I smile you can just see the one ball. So that is the one thing I do notice, is it does take a lot of adjusting because it does move a lot, because you know, you obviously use your mouth to talk and it's constantly moving, so it does move the jewelry quite a bit. That's the one thing about it that I don't like. Other than that, I have absolutely no issues with it at all. How I've been taking care of it is every time after I eat, and this was just the first week, every time after I would smoke or eat or anything of that sort, or I'd have a lot of sugary things or spicy things, you know, whatever the case may be, I would just take some mouthwash, dilute it half and half with water, swish it around in my mouth and spit it out, and good to go. And then obviously brushing my teeth twice a day, morning and night. So that's basically all I did to take care of it. There was a couple times where I did put a little bit of sea salt on it, but not too often because it doesn't taste very good, so I didn't do that, you know, too much. I mostly just stuck to the brushing my teeth and the mouthwash type deal. Another thing is when I did get the piercing, I did notice that it did take me quite a while to get used to the feeling of something being up there. I've never had any sort of web piercing before. I pretty much adapted to it now. Like, I don't feel it when I talk or anything like that. I can eat, drink, you know, do everything like normal. I don't even notice that it is there unless I open my mouth and I see it. Another thing about the piercing that I've noticed, especially with this, and again, I don't know if anyone else's is like this, but my piercer also warned me about this as well, is the calcium buildup on the jewelry. I do notice that when I do brush my teeth, I do like to take a little bit of leftover toothpaste on my fingers and scrub the jewelry, because throughout the day as I'm eating, drinking, you know, doing whatever, I do notice that there is quite a bit of calcium buildup that can happen on the jewelry. It's not an everyday thing, it's just every once in a while. So when I do brush my teeth, I do brush the jewelry very lightly, and then I also take my finger and also scrub it a little bit as well, just to get all the grime and gunk off, because it is your mouth. The mouth is a disgusting place. It's filled with germs. It's all that crap in there. So earlier I mentioned something about dental health, and that's kind of what I'm going to get into now with my future plans with my smiley piercing. Basically, when you have any sort of oral piercing, a Monroe piercing, a lip piercing, which is the same thing, a tongue piercing, a web piercing, any piercing that is in your mouth, it can cause dental health such as gum recession, such as, you know, enamel erosion, everything like that. That can definitely happen with an oral piercing, which is another concern with the Smiley piercing, because as you can see the location of it, it is rubbing very, very vigorously and very continuously on your top teeth. So, my future plans with this piercing. Will I have this piercing for the next 3 years? Probably not. However, I do have a plan that I want to do with my Smiley piercing after I have this jewelry for a few months or so. I do want to change it to a curved barbell. Now, it is still going to be an oral piercing. It is still going to rub in your mouth. It could possibly still cause damage, just like every other oral piercing that you get. But a curved barbell is going to be, you guys won't be able to see it, and it'll be up and away from my teeth and my gum line. Because definitely if I were to keep this in for X amount of time, God only knows what it would do to my gum line, and God only knows if I would have to get a gum graft, which I don't want to do. So yeah, that is probably what I'm going to do in the future, just because I don't have dental insurance, unfortunately, so it would be very, very expensive for me to go and get something repaired. But I wanted to keep this jewelry in for a while so you guys could see it, so you guys could kind of see what it looks like on me, and so I could enjoy seeing it myself. But I think that's definitely what I'm going to do in the future. I'll probably zoom you guys in and show you what it looks like up close. Okay, so here's what it looks like when I smile. And then here is where it is pierced. Okay everyone, so that is what my Smiley piercing looks like. Please let me know down in the comments what you think of it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Whatever. Let me know. Also, if there are any other videos on the Smiley piercing that you want to see, such as me changing it, how I clean it, anything like that, please go ahead and let me know down in the comments, and I will do those videos for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Please give a thumbs up and go down and subscribe before you go. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Happy piercing! Yay!